We didn't make plays in the first half. We had, if you look at it statistically, our defense played extremely well in the first half. Our offense outgained them, but we didn't make plays. We had opportunities to make plays. Really, the same thing that troubled us throughout the season troubled us again here today. Drop balls, missed opportunities. So that's really kind of the story of the game. Obviously we gave up a big play on special teams, and we missed an execution opportunity on special teams. So that's where we're at. Give Kentucky all the credit in the world. We didn't play the way we're capable of playing, and that's why the game ended up the way it ended.
It's 27-21. You have 4th and 7, and you decide to kick the field goal. What went into your thinking, and did you consider going for it?
Yeah, it really was going to come down to how close we could get it to 4th and short, as well as our defense had been playing all day long, and with us having 3 timeouts left, we were either going to have to score in that situation if we went for it, or we were going to have to kick a field goal, which still would have put it in a situation where we could have got a field goal on that last drive. So it really just came down to how long was the 4th down going to be, and the fact that we had managed the timeouts pretty good and we still had 3 available. If we're able to stop them on those first 3 plays, be able to go 3 and out, use our timeouts, we weren't able to do that, So obviously when you don't stop them and they run 4-minute offense and they're able to get a first down and burn the timeouts, then, obviously it looks like you should have went for it.
Coach, what is the nature of Trace McSorley's injury, and how proud are you that he came back in the second half and was able to lead a comeback for this team?
Yeah, we don't typically get into the specifics. I know it got out there. Obviously Trace was experiencing some discomfort. The doctors felt like he could go, but it really just came down to Trace, how Trace felt. We first went out there, he wasn't feeling real good, and then felt good from that point on. And obviously we're going to confirm some things now, but it really just came down to what the doctors thought and what Trace thought, and didn't feel like he could go early.
To see him come back and kind of lead you guys the way that he did in his final game, what does that say kind of about him as a player?
Yeah, I could sit here and talk about Trace, for hours. I think today was a really good example of the type of leader he is, the type of player he is, the type of person he is. When we gave him time, he was able to make some big plays, able to make big plays with his arms, able to make big plays with his feet. We missed some opportunities in the first half in terms of drops. We missed some throws too, honestly. We just did not take advantage of opportunities in the first half. When you're playing a good team, you can't just play a good half. You got to play well for 4 quarters, and we didn't do that. But Trace is special. I can't put it into words, the type of relationship that I have with him and his family. Special guy for a lot of different reasons. And obviously you look out in the field and you focus on his arm and his legs, but it's his heart. It's his heart and his mind that really makes him special.
James, you'd said the special teams inconsistencies there that you mentioned has been a problem all season. How do you kind of handle that? I mean, did you see progress throughout the year from them, or what's kind of the status of that position group moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. It's inconsistency. We punt the ball 73 yards once, and then we shank the next, and that's kind of happened kind of throughout the year. It's our execution. It's responsibility of us as coaches to make sure they're confident and understand what their responsibilities are, but we haven't done it. We haven't done it consistently all year long, so it's a concern. Coming into the season, we knew relying on 2 true freshmen, from the specialist position, that was going to be a little bit of a concern, but we also have had some opportunities that we haven't made. Haven't made plays, haven't done consistently what we need to do. Like everything, we'll evaluate it. We'll take a deep dive in it. We'll ask tough questions to ourselves, and we'll look at everything. A through Z, we'll look at everything. We'll have tough conversations. We'll do what we got to do to get better. But it was not It was not up to our standards today. It wasn't up to our standards all year long.
Jace, can you address Rob Windsor's status, why he did not play?
Yeah, Rob was suspended for a violation of team rules.
You talked before about trying to get to 10 wins here for the third straight year. Hadn't been done by Penn State in the Big Ten era, not getting that. How do you view this team and this program after falling short of that going forward? And it's kind of an end of an era with a bunch of guys with McSorley, but with the younger guys stepping up. How do you just kind of view this team moving forward after this?
Yeah, obviously we're disappointed. The losses that we had this year, they're hard. They're hard for us to swallow. They're hard for the fan base to swallow. I get it. I get it. I watch college football like everybody else does. It's hard. It's hard to win, at the highest level. We've had 3 really good years. 3 years, you look at our last 3 years compared to most programs in the country, we're up there with the best of them. But obviously we played a lot of young players this year. I think there's a lot of excitement and a lot of hope for our future. We got some guys that have some decisions to make, obviously. But obviously, today hurts. But I know that locker room, and we just got done talking about, is excited about the future.
Over here on the left.
James, again, what would it have taken you to keep Trace out of the game after his injury? And Trace, if I could ask Trace, what would it have taken you not to return to the game?
Well, I think the first thing is it always starts and ends with the doctors. They're going to make that call, and then after that, it's a conversation with Trace. And I think, at first, we weren't sure, and that was my conversation with Trace. And he didn't necessarily tell me that he couldn't go, but I know Trace, and I could see his eyes, and I could tell his movement. I wasn't going to put him back in there. And then, some time went by, and he ran around a little bit and felt better and felt confident. So once the doctors, left it up to Trace, then that's my conversations with Trace, and that's me knowing Trace, and that's me watching Trace. And obviously you saw how he was able to play, after that first series.